I will normally advise clients to avoid CBD condos. But why am I talking about One Marina Gardens now? Continue watching to find out whether this project is different from the current completed CBD condos. In this video, I will share the following. A brief on One Marina Gardens. How does this project compare with other completed condo in the CBD? Price comparison with what is in the market. The site plan and the preferred stacks. The different floor plans from 1 to 4 bedrooms. And who should buy and who should not buy. Before proceeding, I just want to share that I am Kai and I'm making this video to share my experience in the property market so that you can make the best decision for yourself. Please like and subscribe to my channel and I will really appreciate it. And if you need professional advice on any property matters, do not hesitate to reach out on the contact below. I will go through a brief intro of One Marina Gardens. The site is here. This is in the new precinct of Marina South and it will be the first plot in this area. For those of you who are a bit older like myself, you will have memories going to Marina South for bowling, to fly kites and have steamboats. So you know where this is actually at. There are currently 5 plots of residential developments with shops on the first floor. These are all planned. This is the perspective before the other plots will be up. It is already planned that this will be a 10-minute neighborhoods where amenities will be a maximum 10 minutes away. There will be an elevated landscape bridge to connect Gardens by the Bay, all the way to Marina Coastal Park. There will also be a pedestrian mall that will be above and below ground linking Marina South, here, all the way to Gardens by the Bay. There will also be plazas and courtyards scattered around neighborhood for a more relaxing experience. And this will be good for people who have been to One Holland Village. This is a similar concept, but on a much grander scale. Besides this Marina South area, there's also plans to develop Marina East. And in Marina East, it's planned to have MRT station, sports, recreational, healthcare, schools, and parks. Once this is built, this will actually complement the Marina South area. And in the surrounding areas, there will also be plans for Tanjong Rhu, Nicole, and Kampong Bugis area to be developed. This will increase the desirability of the area. One question most people will have is this. Is this development any different from the completed CBD condos nearby? Many people will be aware that current condos at Marina One Residence and Beyond Shantons in the area have less than ideal price appreciation. And it is true that many people even make losses in these condos. But just as we don't generalize that all condos will lose money just by looking at the examples of Marina One Residence and Beyond Shantons, we have to analyze One Marina Gardens based on its own merits. When looking at One Marina Gardens, we have to understand based on the detailed analysis whether this is the same product category as the aforementioned negative examples like Marina One Residences and Beyond Shanton. So we have to analyze and think about how these CBD condos are different from other condos around Singapore. They are making good appreciations. Condos in this area have superb connectivity. There are many MRT lines crisscrossing this area. This is very good. There are already some objections if the owner is to sell these condos to a potential buyer in future. First, there's limited primary school options. Second, there's limited amenities like retail and F&B. Third, many people don't really like the concrete jungle feel of the CBD area. So let's look at the 3 points in a bit more detail. First, limited primary school options. There's really not a lot of options in the area. The nearest being River Valley Primary School, which is about 6-minute MRT ride to the Great World. This is one option. Another development that will happen is that once Marina East is developed, there will be schools there as planned by URA. However, we are still at the early stage, so there's no detail yet. The second point is that there's limited amenities, both retail and F&B. However, later on, this will not be a very big issue very soon, as the area is being developed with another 2 in the pipeline to be sold. This plot is planned to be sold. So we can see that amenities are catching up quickly. So we can see that amenities are coming into the area. So this is an issue now, but in a couple of years, when the One Marina Gardens buyer want to exit, it might not be an issue with the potential buyer. The issue people have is that the CBD area is like a concrete jungle. This is an issue for condos in the area like Beyond Shanton that are surrounded by tall office buildings. And these buildings are built very close together, giving a very claustrophobic feeling. However, when URA planned Marina South, they are careful to avoid this issue. So URA actually specified the height limit for different areas. Okay. So this is actually for One Marina Gardens. This is for the upcoming plot in front of it. This is for another plot, Whiteside, which is here. We can see that there's plan to have no buildings on certain areas of the plot. Example, these two. The other plans where they only allow 4 stories. Some only allow 10 stories, 30 stories, and 40 stories. So all the maximum height are planned in advance, making sure that most of the buildings have good views and you don't feel that it's all very clamped together. URA can do this because this is a new township and they can start from scratch. So this will really be very different from all the CBD condos that we have seen earlier. So why having good views is important? We can look at the current transaction price in the area. We can see that the sale at Marina has a very big price gap between the lowest and the highest transacted per square feet. This is similar to Marina Bay residences here. Whereas Marina Bay suites, you can see the price difference is very small. All the high price units at the sale and Marina Bay residences, they are those units that are facing the bay view. So we can see that actually there are still buyers who will still be paying good money for good units in the area. So for Marina One Gardens, we still have issues with not having enough good primary school options nearby. But being a new township, the government is continuously making sure that there's ample planning for greenery, open space, and amenities as this new township matures. So as long as the prices are good, there are units in the development that we can consider. If you want to find out more details on the good and undervalued entry price units, please do not hesitate to reach out to the contact below. Okay, now let's move on to the site plan. In this development, there are 2 blocks, and this will be facing towards Gardens by the Bay and the Bay View. So what are the recommended stacks to choose? We discussed earlier that units with good views have higher demand and thus the higher selling per square feet. For this developer, the price gap for different views and even for high and low floors are very small. So we can really choose the best facing units to get very good value and views at the same time. So the top choice unit will actually be here, these facing units and these facing units. We'll avoid units below 10 stories because the immediate block in front will be 10-story high. And those from 10 to 30 will clear this 10-story building, but they will still see these 30-story buildings a bit further away. So those above 40 will clear this building also. So for these units in this facing, as long as you choose anything above 10 floors, it will be good as they will have good view of Gardens by the Bay. And for these prime units, anything above 8 I think will be a good choice as this will safely clear the tree line in front here and get the super view. The next choice will be units having this facing as they will have the pool view. And future plot in this direction, generally I feel that they will not be developed so soon, so the general view will still be there. As I feel that they will prioritize to develop the areas north and eastwards of One Marina Gardens, which are the plots here and here. And for this view, the lower floors do not have pool views, but I think the high floor is about the same as here because they can't see the pool anyway for high floors. And the last choice will be this block with this facing, as this area will be developed and we are not sure whether the views will be blocked in future. Okay, now let's move on to the floor plans. We'll start with the one-bedder. The one-bedder units are pretty simple. As most buyers are investors, they will look at the rental yield. So we have to compare the rental nearby. And for this development, we can estimate the future rental might be conservatively around $5,000 because for Marina 1, we have $4,500, the sale with $4,300, and Marina Bay, we have already $6,200. So we take some value in between to be more safe and conservative. And so when you're choosing a unit, you can check on the price to see whether the rental yield is above 4. Those rental yields that are above 4 can be good options. And do reach out if you want a more detailed analysis on the rental yield, and I can send you more details as it is difficult to show certain details effectively in a video. For the 2-bedroom units, note that all are dumbbell units except for this L-shaped layout. Which type is better is really subject to personal preference as many will also be staying in the unit. So for the dumbbell units, I will choose according to the preferred stack facing as discussed earlier on. On top of that, I also prefer the layouts where the common toilets have 2 doors, so that when I have guests over for dinner, I will choose to lock the dining area facing door and make the guests go into the toilet through the common bedroom. This is because in case the guests want to do big business, then the smell won't readily flow to the dining area. For the 3-bedroom units, I will prioritize this layout that has unblocked Gardens by the Bay view and also Marina Bay view. On top of that, if this is above the budget or is taken, I will also prioritize units with both the master bedroom and common toilet that comes with window. Although I feel mechanical ventilation is just as good or even better than natural ventilation via window. If we have a choice, we can go for the natural ventilation option where future buyers might have more preference for so that you can fetch a better price later on. And because normally when we are advising buyers, I will help them look at the future plans. Everyone has their own personal preference. but I will always let them know what features future buyers will be looking for, so it will be easier to exit in the future, and they can make a good informed decision. There's only one stack for the 4-bedroom, and this is the best view, but for optimum choice, I want to clear level 10 so that the view is not blocked by the immediate block in front. Now we have gone through the floor plans. Next, we have to consider whether the price is good to enter. The price list is already out, so if you want more details, please reach out to me. The price range between $2,720 to around $3,000 per square feet for the highest floor units, which is very good considering that units in outside central areas like the Ori, in Toa Payoh, and Jayden has already crossed the $3,000 per square feet mark. So who should buy into this project? Although the price is very attractive, the full price appreciation is when the amenities are up. There is still some slight uncertainty until the surrounding is developed. So for people who really need to sell in 3 to 4 years, there are other options available which I can share privately, as this changes quite fast and there's no point in putting up here. However, for people who have the option to sell on TOP in 3 to 4 years time, or they can hold a little bit longer, you really have two opportunities for capital appreciation. One when the condo TOP, as the entry price is really undervalued. Next is when the amenities in the areas are up and future buyers can really see what they get, and we can really see another price bump. If you want to find out more details like floor plans, e-brochure, or visit the show flat for Marina One Gardens, please reach out to me at this contact. Or if you need any advice on any other new launches, please let me know too. Once again, I'm Kai, here to help you find your perfect home. See you soon.